Command, this is Guardsman Hannon. Situation report, over. Guardsman Hannon, this is Command. Send sitrep data package at level Omega encryption using Gamma Vox coordinates. The Emperor protects, over. This is Guardsman Hannon. Acknowledged. Data package being sent. The Emperor protects, out. Right, kicking off today's update video is of course the hobby aspects. So those miniatures I finished recently or am working on. So last time I showed Commissar Yarrick. So this very heavy metal mini is now complete, along with a banner I found on eBay. And I'm pretty sure this is an original from 1997. So not the right banner, obviously, for the model, but I do think it does a bit of a job of actually filling out this ridiculously long banner pole that is sitting on his power pack. So Commissar Yarrick is good to go on the tabletop. The other miniatures I've been working on are all focusing on finishing off a battalion of infantry Catachan snow fighters. So this is led by, of course, Colonel Straken, and him along with Sergeant Harker, which we'll look at in a moment, are both complete with little capes, which I've used, taken from Anvil Inventories, the third-party suppliers of bits and bobs. So he obviously leads a battalion of infantry, which I'll cover off in more detail in the tactics section. Next is Sergeant Harker. This beefcake of a man also has a cape to give him some sort of warmth. But these two are both metal miniatures and actually quite old molds, so they were quite challenging to work on. A lot of irregularities in the molding process and some detail which gets lost. And then I finally now finished 6 infantry squads of pure lasguns, led by, of course, sergeants. These two chaps, just to sort of show off that you can actually paint Astra Militarum infantry eyes. I found a way to do it, and I'm pretty happy with the way these two blokes turned out. They're still a bit fish-faced. But we all know how small Astra Militarum eyes are, and I believe if you do the eyes of a miniature, it makes it look so much better. But again, Astra Militarum infantry are so small, there's definite merit in not bothering at all. This chap is to show off this set of goggles he's got. He's nice sunglasses, which are green. I've finally nailed a way of doing the glasses quite well, and a bit of very, very light wet blending, very, very basic to get that effect. Then these 3 last chaps here, all using heads from the upgrade sprue, and it's so nice to paint something different as opposed to just these blokes, just over and over again. So the first is this is a miniature for one of my patrons, so it's part of the patron platoon, and this bloke obviously has the playing card in his helmet. Hard to see, but I've also managed to nail these eyes. He's taken a very clear sight picture through the weapon. Then you've got the burglar, or the boogeyman, with his little ridiculous white balaclava. He was fun to paint. And my favourite by far is definitely this chap here who's got the camo net on his helmet. I really wish there were more of these because this is one of my favourites. I've gone for obviously a urban winter style camo on his helmet, so I think it looks the best of all of them. I love this one actually. I might try and buy some more bits just because I love that head. So nice to be doing something different for Astra Militarum infantry finally after all these years. And then the key model I'm working on now is of course Manticore number 2, and this is to finish my competitive list because I've got a tournament next weekend, so more on that in a moment. Also, as far as tournaments, hobbies concerned, I went to the reopening of the Tottenham Court GW store in central London, and that's actually pretty cool because they've got now a Forge World section. So like a kid in a candy store, couldn't help myself and went and bought 2 Deathcore of Krieg pony riders. I know Deathcore of Krieg currently the rules suck, but the pony models, if you get a patrol, or is it a vanguard, I think, of just these guys, they can basically be deep striked, albeit ambushing from the side of the table, and they've actually got some decent rules, and they're very fast, obviously, like a 12-inch movement. So I bought 2 of these with the view eventually working towards finishing a patrol of those Deathcore of Krieg riders. And then there was also this on sale, so I couldn't help myself as well, and actually bought myself Sergeant Ripper Jackson. So limited edition model, bit of a strange one because she comes with a big base and her rules are that of a veteran with a las pistol, chainsword and a bolter. So, I mean, you probably just play her as a sergeant, but yeah, I don't think sergeants can have bolt guns, las pistols and chainswords. But I mean, it's a fantastic miniature. Probably put on a 28mm base just to make it fit in an infantry squad, but just something nice to work on, which is a bit different. So that's all the hobby updates. Now on to the tactics. So as said, I've signed on to a tournament next weekend, and I'm taking a mixed Astra Militarum and Adeptus Custodes list. It's got a battalion of Snow Catachans, as said before, led by Colonel Straken with 6 bone basic infantry squads. It's got a tank commander of Executioner Plasma Cannon, Sergeant Harker and 2 Manticores, both for the full payload support ace ability. The thought process here is to use infantry to obviously screen, secure objectives and perform actions. The tank commander will provide obvious firepower, and I've taken an executioner plasma cannon as it's got the AP-3 as opposed to the battle cannon AP-2. The executioner's got a 36-inch range, and the obvious other choice is to launch a siege cannon at strength 10, but I find the 24-inch range a bit too limiting. Sergeant Harker will simply sit between the two manticores, giving the hit rolls of reroll of 1, which greatly boosts their accuracy. And the Catachan Legion trait is fantastic, as it allows you to reroll 1 dice for the manticore Lim and Russ, determine number of shots. Infantry is strength 4, so they've got a better chance of doing something actually in the fight phase. And Straken gives an additional attack to any Catachan infantry models within 6 inches, so greatly boosting their melee output. Next in this 2000 point list, I'm taking a patrol of Scions. This is simply a Tempestus Prime, 7-man Scion squad, and a 4-man command squad with 4 plasma guns. The intent of this patrol is to ideally deep strike in my opponent's deployment zone, securing 4 victory points for Line Breaker, the secondary, or for one of these units to perform the Deploy Teleport Scramblers secondary as well. As far as damage output's concerned, I'm taking them as the 9th Iotan Gorgons, to take advantage of the hit rolls of 6, give an additional hit. I could also use the Daring Descent stratagem on the Hotshot Lasgun squad, so they're in rapid fire range. Give them the order front rank fire, second rank fire for 24 shots with exploding 6s. And also maybe the stratagem point blank efficacy, adding 1 to the wound roll. So with all these shots hitting him, the AP-2 should chew through most infantry, so I look forward to pulling this combo next weekend. And last but by no means least is a patrol of Custodies. I know this is an Astra Militarum channel, but I love painting and playing Custodians, as they're so different to Guard, and a real bit of spice to my gameplay. So they're led by Captain General Valoris, who is a tank at 190 points, and he's got a 3+ invul save and 7 wounds, and he allows all surrounding Custodies to reroll hit rolls and wound rolls of 1. Next is a 4-man Guardian squad with Guardian Spears, which are basically flat 2, strength 4 damage bolters, which are strength 6, AP-3 spears in the fight phase. There's then a 3-man Terminator squad, also known as an Aloris Custodes, or Custodians, delivering a combined 12 attacks, being able to deep strike. And lastly is a 3 jet bike squad, otherwise known as Veator Protos, and they've got a 14-inch move with 2 with rapid fire 6 bolters, rapid fire 6, and 1 with basically a melter missile with 24-inch range. I can pay 2 CP and deep strike up to 3 units, so basically all 4 units. But I'll definitely leave the jet bikes deployed to cause early havoc. The intent of these again is to use them as deep strike to secure line breaker or carefully remove enemy units from any outlying objectives. Now a huge criticism of this list is that I only start on 7 command points because I've had to pay for 2 patrols, patrol formations. Also having a fair chunk in deep strike means I could be screamed out by a horde style opponent. I will of course make a call on the day, depending on which list I'm playing against. A rough plan would be to thin out one flank of my opponent's army, create space and allow the Scions and Custodians to deep strike and cause absolute mayhem, while the Scions shooting output and the Custodians absolutely crazy melee abilities. But yeah, pretty mixed list, and hopefully does me well in the 5-game tournament next weekend. I'll definitely be doing a tournament debrief at a later point. And finally, from a lore point of view, I've only really been watching what's on Warhammer TV. This is week 3 of its existence, and this week they put up only 2 more videos. The Angels of Death episode is great as usual, and the new series Lore Master, with the first episode exploring the story of Abaddon the Despoiler, is actually really cool. But they together equate to only about 35 minutes of new content, which is pretty pathetic. As per my review of the platform in this video here, I'm glad I got the £10 voucher and paid the annual subscription to keep the cost down, as I wouldn't be comfortable paying the higher monthly plan for so little new content week to week, but hey ho. And in closing, don't forget to check out bitsmonster.com, a UK-based bit supplier whose range grows week to week, serving as a kit basher's dream. Check out this video here for a discount code. Also, large shout out to one of my subscribers who runs Grimdarkgames.ca. Based on the east coast of Canada, they ship also to the US. They range all types of board games and have got an extensive range of 40k miniatures, all with some very nice discounts. So if you're based in that neck of the woods and looking for your next new miniatures, check them out at Grimdarkgames.ca. Right, so for that was an interesting update, and let me know what you're up to in the comments if you could. Thanks for watching. Patron Platoon, sound off. Colour Sergeant DuPont, Sergeant Brady, Merrill, Mitchell, Veteran Adal, Gibson, Gilliam, Hall, Lundeen, Witten, Guardsman Combs, Hills, Nitton, Nguyen, Tom, Tonkin.